I'm Reny. I'm gonna post some messages for the Moody Collective. So if you're feeling moody, because I know I fucking have been, we're gonna see what Spirit needs us to know and what might be blocking us at this time. So Spirit, what do we need to know? Okay. This is the world in the reverse. What is that telling me? This is telling me, and by the way, this is a reading for all of us, myself included, but this is telling me that we're keeping ourselves in a cycle. We're stuck in a cycle. There's a cycle here that's trying to break, that we're having trouble breaking out of. At the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. This is telling me that once we do break out of this cycle, what comes in is exactly what we've been hoping for, what we've been wishing for. So it's kind of a feeling of almost keeping ourselves stuck, or there's just some things here that we're not releasing. We do also have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So yes, this is about emotional baggage. I definitely do resonate with this. This is about lack with the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This is like there's a feeling of lack, and it's really connected to some emotional patterns, some emotional baggage that's not fully been released. And the thing about it is that this cycle has been trying to break for some time. So I think a lot of us are feeling really stuck in this cycle and feeling really disconnected from the things that we actually want to see. I'm going to dig more into what this is, but it's blocking a new beginning because I see the Fool in reverse. So it's like Spirit is trying to tell us that there's new that's trying to come in, but we have to release this blockage, this emotional blockage. It's connected to some past pains. For some of us, this is definitely connected to like wounding from like inner child wounding. One second. Okay, and then the Emperor came out in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles also came out in reverse. They both fell on the floor. So these also tell me that for some of us, this is connected to a connection with a specific person. Okay, it could have been a masculine for some of us who was just not, it felt like a waste of effort. It felt like a waste of time. This is like someone who might have poured a lot into a connection with somebody and feels like the outcome of it, like it never paid off. So for some of us, this is a connection to some wounding from childhood, and others of us this is like a connection. And I also feel like for some people there could be crossover where that connection actually brought up a lot and triggered a lot of things from your childhood that is still being processed and worked through, and it feels like that blockage has not been fully released because there are still some patterns, like some emotional patterns. For some of you this is thoughts. I resonate with this. For some of you this is actually your behavior and how you show up in connection, and also how you show up for yourself. We also have the King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so it feels like what I'm getting from this too is I'm actually kind of getting that some of you are in this King of Swords energy, this energy of trying to detach from your own emotions. It feels to me like you're really in your head. There's like this idea of what you want to see. Like there's an idea of what you want. It feels like you're really focusing on it in a like very analytical, logical way, but you're not like really allowing yourself to fully release the emotions like from your energetic field, from your body. So that's where Ace of Swords in reverse. That's where a lot of like this blockages, this mental fog, this confusion. So it's like you're trying to process it all in the mind. And I do also relate to this. And because of that, there's like this feeling of like you might go back and forth in your mind when you're reflecting on past situations, specifically with this person that you were in a connection with, but also just in general, just in your life, in your childhood, where you stop and you start to question whether it's possible for you to actually get what you want, whether it's possible for you to get stability. A lot of you, this is like a really big wound for you, where this connection really is connected to a deeper issue of feeling a lack of stability, not just in connections, but in general. And it feels like right now there's a lot of mental fog around that lack of stability and around whether it's possible for you to ever acquire it. And it feels like Spirit is trying to get you to move out of this energy because what you actually want is on the other side of it. Like there is a new beginning there, but you have to get out of your mind, stop processing all of your pain through your mind, actually let it flow out of your body. And that clarity that you're looking for is going to start to creep in. It's not like an easy process. Yeah, the Sun in reverse. Oh, it's interesting I pull it up sideways. I feel like you could be actively trying to move out of this energy. Some of you could struggle with your mental health at this time. Also resonate. It feels like because you're so in your head, this is impacting you. It's actually making the energy heavier. So it's like an added layer on top of what you're already trying to release, because there is a level of like discomfort that's required for you to sit in that you're actively avoiding it by trying to process it through your brain. And the thoughts are reflecting that energy, because when you start to have those thoughts creep in that are full of doubt or lag, it's really in connection to that energy that's not yet been released. So it feels like you need to ground and get out of your head. It feels like you might need to actually like do something somatic, like something physical, whether that's movement, dance, exercise, walks, going outside, sitting in nature, It feels like your energy is asking you to be still and quiet, which is really hard. Yeah, Three of Swords, because there's so much healing here. It's already happening, but it feels like there's a lot more. And then with the Tower at the bottom of the deck, it feels like some of you could have been running away from this stillness, because when you do, it's going to feel like it's crashing into you. All of this pain, all of this like emotional baggage, it's not that you've been necessarily avoiding it, but because you've only really been processing it from this like very logical place, there's a lot that's still trying to come out, that's trying to purge, that you haven't really, for some of you, had the capacity to create space for, because you've been in this energy of like just trying to survive, because you've been in this energy of lack. For others of you, this is because you've been trying to process it in a logical way rather than really just feel into it and sit with it. And for a lot of you, it's beyond just grief of a person or a connection. It's deeper than that. It's about your own belief around stability, and stability in all areas of your life, financially, physically, within relationships and connections. And so Spirit is really trying to get you to sit with the wounds that's led to that belief, because for some of you it's deeply rooted. It like goes back to childhood, it goes back to your early experiences in life. For others of you, it's not just this relationship, but like different friendships or connections that disappointed you, and a lot of that led to this core belief that you might not all even be consciously aware of, that it's just not possible for you. Like the stability that you're hoping for, that the happiness that you want isn't possible for you. And even if you're not consciously thinking that thought, a lot of the doubts that creep in, a lot of the anxieties and worries that come up are really in connection to that core belief. So it feels like Spirit's trying to get you to sit and get out of your mind and ground, so that that can fully come up. And not just in terms of like the thought itself, but in terms of like the energy, like the emotion of it, so that you can let it out. If some of you like haven't cried, have like a really good cathartic breakdown, you might be overdue for that. And for others of you, it just feels like you need to be held right now, and maybe you don't feel like you have the space or the people to do that. And so Spirit is asking you to create that space for yourself, which is far easier said than done. So I'm gonna leave this here, but I am feeling really encouraged by Spirit to tell you to go outside and just sit and do that. And if there is a space where you can be alone, it might help for you to journal, it might help for you to, but like do something to move this out of your body. Do something physical, but also something where you can actually get those emotions out in a way that feels safe and comfortable for you. It's not going to be comfortable, but like what works for you based on your life right now and what you need. So I'm gonna leave you at that. I hope that this is helpful for you, and if it resonates, you can message me if you want a personal reading. I also have a link in my bio, but I'm sending you love.